Lively Game of the Day. J.Yossarian versus StickRichard. Von Bolt versus Max.
Welcome back to the channel, folks. Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another lively game of the day. Today, we are on Arbor Redux. This is a triple base airport and comm tower supported matchup, and we have J.Yossarian versus StickRichard470. The return of J.Yossarian, folks. One of our favorite Grimm players of all time here. Now, he is once again up against a tier 1 CO as a tier 4 CO. So, it should be an interesting one here. Now, this map has a little interesting gimmick here because we have a lander, pre-deployed lander right here, sitting on a mountain, truly in the fashion of Flock himself. Now, this guy is going to be able to go over here, land right here, potentially land right here, and then potentially land right here, or right here, or right here, maybe if it's dropping off infantry. But yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing some tactical lander action on this map here, folks. But aside from that, strong side versus weak side dynamic with an airport. There's probably going to be some fighting right here, maybe even a little fighting in the center here, folks. I think Ex Machina is probably going to be hitting pretty hard on one side or another here, but when it comes to the Grimm matchup versus the Von Bolt matchup, I actually like Grimm's odds in a little bit of a way. Now, it sounds pretty crazy, but when it comes to Grimm's firepower, with the comm tower right here, he's the only CO that can effectively actually take out Von Bolt's units on cities. So, as long as he positions himself right, he can hold his own. But if he gets first hit, well, he's going to be having a bad time, folks. But, without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. Ooh. Beautiful way to start this game, folks. Absolutely love the adder theme. I love it almost as much as standard infantry builds, because you got to get them on the field, folks. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. #2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web, folks. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you are not already for that hot live league action. As both players are now moving that lander into an appropriate location in order to get some solid boosties. I like this location for the lander the best because you are able to get an immediate double load vehicle-wise from these two properties. Also, you know, you can get it right here and right here right away. If you put them up here, it's a little bit more difficult, but, you know, whatever. To each their own, folks, to each their own. Alrighty, let's see how the rest of this early stages of the game manages to progress here. Kind of just going for basic captures at the moment. Looks like Stick Boy, he is definitely going for the center. Going to be grabbing one of the properties there pretty soon. Jay, following suit, going to be grabbing this property and this property. So both are mirrored right now. Looking pretty solid on the capture game. We got an early tank over here from StickRichard. And we got an early tank over here from J.Yossarian. So now the tanks are definitely going to be flowing on this. I've watched J.Yossarian play quite a bit, actually. And, yeah, he loves copters. Plays Grimm very effectively with copters, so we're definitely going to be seeing some of those pretty soon, without a doubt. I'm just curious to see if StickRichard is going to be able to come up with an effective counter to the copter play. Now, this is a very good move, I think, right here. Jay loading the tank onto the boat, and then putting it right here. That's going to deny these properties right away because this tank is not really going to be able to get to the center right away. It's going to at least give J.Yossarian a day or so boost, especially with this tank right here, because now this tank is isolated. It's not going to be able to go anywhere past this location. He's going to have to play it defensively. Now, he could potentially put it right here on the missile silo here, and then maybe play a defensive game, or potentially he could actually bring the lander down here, load it up, and then drop it into the center. But Stick's got 16k in the bank here. He's going to be able to get that double tank build here. So definitely going to be putting some pressure. I would probably like... yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Let's see what the role would be here. So if Jay was to go up and take an engagement, he would have to fight from the road versus a Von Bolt tank on that. Not that. That. Okay, so I think Von Bolt would actually win the engagement overall if it was taken from a road, because it would be about an even trade, and then the counter damage would be very high. So I would probably put a little bit more forward and just like invite the hit, but then you are technically fighting into base range here, so that is definitely a little bit questionable. So maybe not, maybe go for it, maybe don't. I don't know. Either way, he's playing it conservatively right now. Jay busts out the Battlecopter. Typical, traditional J.Yossarian getting that Battlecopter on the field. Definitely some tactical Grimm action over here. And now he's taking the defensive position here because he's got the backup anti-air purchase right now. Not too bad, not too bad at all. I like the idea of a Von Bolt actually matching Grimm's copters too. I think that would be a really good idea because he's got to keep the unit count up. If you lose the unit count to Grimm, that's one of the ways that Grimm actually really gets ahead in these sort of games too, because if he can actually have the units available to wall off, well then that's what makes him so difficult. I mean, it's good to fight Grimm when you have units available that can break the walls, but if he's got more units than you, then you can't do it. But we do have a nice little snipe of a unit here. Recon gonna be getting a free shot here. Yeah, that's an instant delete. That's an instant delete right there. Absolutely no defense on the old Grimm. That is 100% for sure. Now, got a little infantry drop off here. This guy's sitting at 4. Jay is ahead in properties. Jay's got 19 properties to 17 properties over here from Stick right now. Stick's going to be able to capture this property. So, he will be able to get a little bit more funds. It looks like he might be behind by 1 after all said and done, but these guys are isolated here. So, unless they can actually find a way to push into this location, they are going to be stuck there for the remainder of the game because they don't want to go into Grimm territory, but Grimm also doesn't really want to push into this either. But I think the anti-air, aside from being a direct counter to the Battlecopter, it could actually potentially be a really good wall breaker as well, allowing for Von Bolt to get one of those essential hits in. So I think that could be pretty good. So sacking 2 more infantry to take out 1 infantry here. I don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. So let's see what Stick does with the Battlecopter. The Battlecopter is going to be really, really big here. So we have to see what he's going to do with that. If he goes Battlecopter, another Battlecopter and tank right here, it could be pretty dangerous for Jay to push up into this, because if he puts the recon or the tank here to attack the recon or something, then he's gonna have a tank blast him from over there. I think probably pumping out tank Battlecopter from this position would be pretty good at this point, but I feel like Stick could probably benefit from actually bringing the lander down here and then taking a tank and an anti-air and dropping it into the center. I think that might be a really good plan. I feel like he needs to do it. I'm going tank artillery. Okay, so tank artillery is not too bad. I would really like to see the Battlecopter spam. Like, I think Battlecopter spam is insanely essential in this matchup here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is very dangerous, very dangerous. Jay has found an attack where he's able to block the Battlecopter in. He might lose an infantry in this engagement, but that's it. That's literally all that he will lose. Now, if Stick had bought a Battlecopter here, could have started the Battlecopter chains into the middle, start that combat, maybe could have did something with that, but now he's stuck in a situation where he cannot hit the Battlecopter. It can't happen. Jay once again, or Stick now pushing in 2 units to eliminate a few infantry, taking out this infantry here. Gonna be losing a property here though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This Battlecopter is left hanging. It's left hanging now. This Battlecopter is going to be able to easily take a shot at that. There's no reinforcement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, even if you built an anti-air out of this property, it's nothing. There's nothing available to assist that Battlecopter now. So he manages to hit a tank, but he loses a Battlecopter, which is arguably way better than a tank in this situation. So we'll see how this next turn goes, because Jay is about to flip that property. He's now 21-17. It goes up and takes that engagement. Yeah, that's a huge flipping engagement. 90% damage. Now there's 2 Battlecopters here. That makes it insanely difficult for Von Bolt to actually push into here. He needs to have an anti-air get into the center now, because one Battlecopter spam is not going to win this fight now, unfortunately. Needs to get an anti-air in the center. Actually, you know what? Bring this guy over here. Load the anti-air in, drop it into the center, build another anti-air, and then you have 2 anti-airs in the middle. Now, however, Jay could easily bring these tanks over to the middle too, so I don't know. It's questionable. Very questionable what's going to happen here. Another infantry snipe over here. Another Battlecopter on the field. And it is now day 12. Stick. He's going to go and try to flip a property here. Nice placement with the artillery. But the only issue here... Oh, you know what? No, it's fine. It's actually okay. It's not too bad, because this guy can be 2-hit with the infantry. But there's no follow-up units here. So if he had like 3 tanks over here that could all hit, I think it would be pretty good, because he could take out infantry, he could take out tank, and then maybe hit the artillery. But if you can't hit the artillery, then I don't know how effective a push over here is going to be at the moment. Build the anti-air though. Oh, it doesn't build the anti-air. Got a mech. Ooh. Based. Got a base mech on the field, folks. You'll love to see it. Jay's got the co-power charged up now, but I don't think he's going to use it right away here. Nope. Nope, we're not going to use it. See, this is very interesting here, because Jay actually invites an attack here, which is kind of interesting, because this could be a... it depends on what the roll is here. What is the roll? What's the roll? Let's see what the roll is with infantry onto this. Okay, so that's a clear. So there could be a clear right here. 2 tanks to clear this tank, and then another tank could hit the artillery. Could back it up with an anti-air at that point too. So that's kind of interesting. Could actually have a little bit of a good attack here. That would open it up to Battlecopter plus tank attack afterwards. But if you have the anti-air there, that would cover the at least cover the Battlecopter if it goes in and attacks. So interesting, very interesting. And Jay going in for the attack down south here, folks. Just going for it. Just absolutely going for it. So it doesn't manage to hit the artillery, but takes out the tank like I thought. So yeah, that's kind of neat. Artillery right here defending these 2 tanks is going to be absolutely massive. When it comes to Grimm, like indirects and copters, they're like the backbone of Grimm's army here. 31 units to 26 now. Stick going and trying to reclaim one of the properties. He's going to go for that attack that I thought he was going to go for here. Definitely big flipping damage, folks. Big flipping damage. I would almost just attack the Battlecopter, actually. Like, I don't know. Taking out the infantry is fine, too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but this might invite a Grimm attack. This could invite a Grimm attack, actually. I wonder if it's going to happen. Let's see what this roll is right here. So, if you use co-power? So there's a roll to destroy this infantry here when you use co-power, but if you use super co-power, it's a guaranteed, which means this infantry could just rush up here, destroy this, and this copter can come up and one-shot this right here. This copter could probably go up and, if not one-shot, do a ton of damage to this. Interesting. Interesting stuff could occur here, folks. I don't know if it's gonna occur. Ooh, there goes that artillery. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna occur, but it might occur. Stick definitely doing a fantastic counterattack down here, though. Managing to clear multiple units. And is doing incredibly well for time, folks. He is a speed demon. 16 minutes and 59 seconds still on the clock, so. Alright, we got a Knuckle Duster. Let's see what he manages to do with the Knuckle Duster. Ooh, finds an artillery hit right here. Beautiful hit right there. Hitting the anti-air. Doing respectable damage to this tank, too. Taking that all the way down to 3. No follow-up right here, folks. There's absolutely nothing left for Von Bolt. Down south, there's very little down here, indeed. Even the Ex Machina, if it hits, you can't protect that guy. You can't protect him. I don't know what this is doing down here. Oh, maybe Ex Machina bait. Ooh, classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Webb. And a lander. Now, is this going to bait the Ex Machina? It could. But Stick also needs to charge the Ex Machina in order to bake it. That's the one. We ain't putting things in ovens today, folks. We are just dropping things on the floor. That's it. That's all we're doing. Clears the 3 HP. And then reassembles the forces. So he's not going to pop the Ex Machina. He doesn't have it yet. There's not really any available attacks. He's doing pretty respectable now for unit count, actually. 28 to 24. Jay's going to be able to clear a few units here for sure, but that's it. So moves the medium tank and the lander. That is once again a bait right there. Without a doubt, Ex Machina would hit there. And Jay not letting go on the attacks. Continues to push, clears the tanks. Yeah, with this tank right here, I think that it would still go right here. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out, folks. Might be here. I don't know. It might be here. It might be over here. It actually would probably go here because there's tank, medium, that, and that. So Ex Machina would drop right here. Without a doubt, that's where it would go. It's going to drop down there. It's going to be pretty huge. Or he could just hold on to the Ex Machina and use it as the ultimate deterrent of all time here. It's one of the other things you can do with your Super Co-Powers, folks. You don't actually have to pop the Super Co-Power if you don't want to. You can hold it. And you can use it to scare the ever-loving crud out of your opponent. Be like, whoa, when am I going to drop it? When am I going to drop it? I could drop it now. Could drop it later. Could drop it tomorrow. Could drop it 2 days from now. Or I could drop it mid-turn. You don't know. You don't know what he's going to do, folks. But this is a great opportunity for StickRichard to actually start regaining some ground here. Because Jay probably won't want to be pushing up into any situation where he can't guarantee that his front line is gonna survive an Ex Machina. But easily clears another unit. Oh god, excuse me. Easily clears another unit over there. I feel like I might be dying, folks. I don't know. Could be happening. Might not be happening. Find out on the next episode if I survived or not. That's the Ex Machina right there. I think, maybe. Yeah, that's where it would land if it's going to land anywhere. Yep. Boom. Alright, so unfortunately, he doesn't really have a whole lot of moves to capitalize on it, but he might be able to make a little bit of ground here. But considering there's 2 tanks that are going to survive this kerfuffle over here, could still be a pretty effective counter from Jay, but we'll see. I mean, 2 tanks is not going to do a whole lot. Fortunately for Jay, his infantry here did not get hit by the Ex Machina, so that's pretty fortunate. If that base was lost, or if that base got hit by the Ex Machina, there could be potential that a base lock could potentially happen here, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen today, folks. 27 to 27. Jay's got a co-power ready, but not going to pop it just yet. Going to take 2 engagements. So that engagement didn't work. This engagement kind of worked. It was okay. Good engagement. Not too shabby. Oh yeah, there's a base right here. Alright, cool. Yeah, that's the 2 base side. Alright. But now that HQ is Very, 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 very exposed. That's pretty dangerous territory, folks. Pretty dangerous territory. Battlecopter moves in. Trying to get a clear on the tank with a luck roll, but doesn't manage to do it, unfortunately. And now the Battlecopters are moving in down south. Manages to clear one of the anti-airs. Really needs to clear the rest of these tanks here, but this classy medium tank right here, even if it's at 7 HP, this is going to be a Grimm. Classy medium tank, possibly with a Knuckle Duster, maybe a Haymaker, maybe base firepower. We don't know. We don't know until tomorrow, folks. I keep accidentally hitting the wrong button here. But Jay's about to get 2 properties today, so that's going to be pretty good. 1-2. Alright, 22 to 18 on day 17. Oh, what kind of damage are we going to see here, folks? Oh, 80%. Not too shabby at all. Clears one of the Battlecopters. Build another anti-air and you're perfectly safe right there, folks. I'm not going to push up into that because that's not worth it. Not worth it at all. You don't want to do that. It's wild talk over there. Alright, sacks into the infantry that's most available to capture the HQ, so smart move right there. And pulls back because, yeah, he can't fight into that. He's going to start fighting over here. He's got 5 tanks versus 5 tanks and 3 Battlecopters, though. So, yeah, got to get another anti-air on the field for sure. Manages to hit a Battlecopter right here. Pops another power. Okay. Where's this power going to take him? Oh, it takes him straight to an anti-air. Classiest unit in Advanced Web Web is now getting some heals on a city. Sitting pretty on a city, folks. And the anti-air has been taken out. Very little is actually available for StickRichard now in order to defend against this. But he is continuing the fight, folks. Absolutely continuing the fight. Man, just take out one of the Battlecopters. This mech finally getting a little bit of value down here. Getting a first strike on a tank. Super awesome. Just one-shotting one-shotting infantry over here. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my god. Grimm games are like, there's something, folks. They're the games of all time, that's for sure. Everybody loves a Grimm game. Alright, we got Ex Machina charged right now. Jay definitely might be eating an Ex Machina next turn, but once again, it really depends on what the follow-up attacks are going to be. Jay not even being greedy with his captures. He's not planning on capturing in HQ. He's going for this cap right here. But he's got another infantry right here that could potentially be used for an HQ cap next turn. Or not next turn, but could start the threat of it. Oh, that's a pretty big one. That's a pretty big one, but it's no follow-up. That's the problem. Takes out the Battlecopters at least, but going to be needing some tanks over here. Get a tank over here. Get him. Get the tank. There we go. Got the Tonka on the field. Tonka right here. Oh, and Jay's going for 2 more flips. Oh my god. The Grimm dominance here is something, man. It's something. Day 21. StickRichard, playing this Von Bolt, has resigned. What a wild game, folks. What a wild game. Definitely some haymakers. Definitely some knuckle dusters. But unfortunately, Von Bolt was not able to contend with Grimm today. Now, Jay is a very good Grimm, so I wouldn't really say anything bad about StickRichard here. Maybe a couple things here and there, you know, could have been better, but fantastic player. And like I said, Grimm actually does pretty good against Von Bolt. So there's your guys' Grimm content for the week. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.